Well, welcome to Capital Region today. I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We've got a great lineup. Oh my goodness, what great guests we have today. A little entertainment for you as well. We're going to be starting out with our first guest. Coming up will be Kevin Harder. He's an Elvis tribute artist. They're not impersonators, they're Elvis tribute artists. And we're then going to be talking with a representative of the Empire State Aerosciences Museum and finding out what they're doing. And they are starting up their breakfasts and having a lot of classes for young people. We're going to find out about those as well. And then my favorite activity in the summer is the Italian Festival, and that's going to be coming up in September. And we're going to be speaking to representatives from them. They're going to give us kind of an overview, but they'll be back on again to talk about who the guests will be that will be singing and all the music that will be there. And there'll be plenty of music, believe me. And then we're going to be going all the way over to Sand Lake to talk to representatives from a play called Pipeline, and that was by the Circle Theater Players, and they're doing that at the Sand Lake Center for the Arts, a beautiful old church that they've renovated. It looks great. And then from there, we're going all the way over to Waterford. We're going to be talking about the Waterford Museum and Cultural Center, and we'll find out what they're doing. They have an exhibit coming up. We have fortunate enough to have the president here to talk to us about that. So we've got a great lineup, and I'm really happy to start right off with two people, and I believe they're related in a way, right? Hi, Kevin.
Yes, hello.
Kevin Harder. He's an Elvis tribute artist.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that, Kevin?
Since 2006.
Six. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And Renee, you're his supporter, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. You cheer him on.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah. No, I see you behind the scenes. You're playing the music and everything. Yeah, so that's really great to have a team working together, right?
Yep.
So you've been doing this since 2006. Now, how did you get started? Because you didn't start when you were 19 or 20. You started.
No, growing up, I was always into music, as my mom, one of 9 kids, always played the big hi-fi, and we put the albums on, and we'd be dancing and singing out loud. And then when I met my beautiful wife 38 years ago.
Well,
39,
congratulations.
Come to find out, she had the same interests, the same music interests.
And drew you together there.
That drew us together. Yep, that was a connection we had in music and Elvis. And we went to my first Elvis Fest.
Was that up at Lake George?
In Lake George.
Yeah, I've been to those. Well, I'm so sorry to hear they're not going to be there this coming year. They're going to go out to Turning Stone.
Turning Stone Casino.
Yeah, that's pretty
year.
lousy for us anyway.
Yes, it is. Elvis and casinos, right?
Yeah, well, it makes sense, right?
Yes. So the first Elvis
Viva
Fest.
Las Vegas, right?
There you go. Stay away from the machine.
Yeah.
But the first time we ever went to Elvis Fest, I was watching 65 other tribute artists out
They're
there.
wonderful, aren't they?
And a lot of them were great. And,
And the little
man,
kids that do it,
the
aren't they
kids,
amazing?
Truly amazing. Now, I'm naturally blonde hair. So my wife says, you can do this. And I said, I can't.
Did you
do
really,
that."
Renee?
She goes, dye your hair and give it a try. I'm naturally shy, you know. I'm shy.
Oh, yeah,
like
you're
Elvis
such a
was.
shy guy. Yeah, you're like me. I really am a shy person.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. And she says, let's try it. So I did it. So for the first time.
So
in
did you sing
2006
before that, Kevin?
Yes, always.
So
sang.
you had the voice to begin with?
I'd like to think so.
Well, you do, because you're going to perform for us.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, so no, you do have the voice. I know that. I've seen you perform.
Yep. And I love country music. I was raised on country music.
And of course, you know, Elvis did a lot of gospel.
Yes, he did.
And what surprised me is that when they first heard them, I mean, they didn't know where to put him.
No, he was saying all kinds of genres of music.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't, they just didn't know what to do.
When he first did country music, transitioned from rock to country, the song was Welcome to My World. And when we went out to Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry, they laughed him off the stage.
Really? I did not know
they
that.
Didn't like him. They didn't like him in Nashville. So
I had
he
no
really had
idea.
to come back. Elvis was virtual in singing any kind of music. So, but yes, it's gospel, and I truly enjoy gospel also.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I've listened to, at one time I was on listening to the Elvis channel on the radio.
Yes.
I could not believe the number of songs that he recorded. I mean, they're in the hundreds.
Over 700
Yeah,
songs
yeah.
Elvis actually done. So if you ever meet somebody that says, hey, I don't like Elvis.
Well, they
I
haven't
bet
listened
you-
to enough of their songs.
I can bet you I can pull up 7 of 700 songs, I could pull up one song.
That you're
and
gonna
catch
like.
it tapping your foot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, he was an exceptional, that's why they call him the king. I mean, because
Of course.
he really was an exceptional performer. And I've watched some of the things that he's done on the Ed Sullivan Show, the old Ed Sullivan Show.
Yes.
He was such a humble man, it seemed.
Right up to the day he died.
Yeah.
He was very, very humble. Took real good care of his employees and just people he met in general. Was very, very
They said he was a
humble.
very kind man.
Very kind man.
And he loved his mom.
Loved his mom. God,
Yeah.
love your mom. And I always say that's why I'm not rich today, because I love giving stuff away. As you came to one of my shows, right?
I have to say that I won a door prize at his show. What was my door prize? A clock. A wooden clock.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Love me tender.
Yes, it was.
And it's in my office.
You know the gentleman that made that clock?
And I have his name written right on the back of my clock because I
He's
don't
one
want.
of the judges from the Lake George Elvis Fest.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, that
Okay.
makes those clocks.
Okay. Well, without talking too much more, you gonna sing something for us?
Sure I will.
Yeah. What are you gonna sing?
Only fools rush in or can't help falling in love.
You
However you
just
wanna
take
put
it away, and I'll let you do whatever you want. You
I'm gonna
stand
stand
up.
up for this.
You stand up and do it. And are we taking care of the music, or is Renee gonna do that?
Oh, you're gonna do the music.
Okay, good.
Unless Renee
Yeah,
wants
we got
to
a good
comment.
we got a good team here. Yeah, take it away.
Wise men say all they fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, we'll go. Some things should let take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, shall we go? Some things should never be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with, for I can't help falling in love with you.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Listen, I want to thank Renee for letting him take my hand. You're now a bit jealous, and I'm really glad to see that. So anyway, yes, and you're going to be performing in Queensbury. So,
Yes.
and I know that you give out a lot of prizes. You have a lot of fun, and you're an amazing performer. You really are. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Because you engage the audience.
Yes.
And so you're going to do that in Queensbury. So what are you doing that for?
We're actually doing it, Elvis died August 16th. So this is like, we do it every year in August, a memorial for Elvis.
Oh, nice,
passing.
nice, yeah.
And we do we feed you for that $20, we include the food. And my beautiful wife here always makes a big giant Elvis peanut butter cake.
Peanut butter, and was it peanut butter and bananas, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a little thing with bananas.
Isn't that what
gonna
he
put on
liked,
it.
peanut butter and bananas?
Yeah. And that's always a big hit every August when she makes
Yeah.
her big cake. And
Yeah.
nobody gets to cut it till everybody gets done eating.
Yeah.
And you get to look at it as you go by.
Yeah,
But,
oh, that's really
man,
kind of
it's so
clever,
good.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What amazing support you have with Renee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
You got it.
so I really want to thank you so much for being here, and just to kind of give a shout out, this is going to be on August the 14th. Is this open to the public?
Yes, it is. Open to the public.
Okay.
Doors open anytime you come. It opens at 6, the doors, but you can come anytime earlier. We have a pavilion outside. We have a lot of good times, a lot of door prizes. And
Yeah, I know,
as you
I saw those teddy bears going
Did
flying.
you see
They-
the scarves?
Yes, I was waiting for the scarf to come on, but I didn't get one
You
today.
didn't get a scarf?
Not today. I'm just looking today, but that's okay, that's okay. I got to hold your hand, that's a
But
good
then
thing.
actually, the scarves that we give out are from, actually from Nashville, Tennessee, Graceland.
Oh, really?
Up
From
that way.
Graceland?
Yep, we order
Wow.
the scarves straight from there, and
Wow.
you get the true thing.
Well, I'm telling you, if you get a chance to see them, you're going to have a good time. It's not just the songs, it's the whole experience.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much for being here.
Well,
And I'm
thank
going to
you.
let, well, I'm going to let Renee leave first, and that will let my next guest come in, and then we'll go ahead and talk with, I think Kevin will be sitting there, but another Kevin. I got
Yes,
two Kevins on the
yes,
same
all
show.
on one show.
So what we're doing is, we're going to promote that, and are you out for hire, if anybody wants to hire you?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
I am.
We'll let people know that as
Thank you
well.
very much.
And then we're going to be talking with another Kevin right here, and he's
All
just
right.
sitting right down. Thank you so much,
Well,
Kevin
thank you
Harder.
for having me.
Good.
My pleasure,
Yes, good.
truly.
Always, mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And hi, Kevin, how are you today? Another Kevin here. And I believe John is going to be joining us as well. And we're going to be talking about the Aerosciences Museum at Empire State. Tell me a little bit about the opening, because now you're doing the fly-in breakfast and you're doing the classes. So what's going on?
Well, we have quite a bit going on here. We did reopen about, I think it was around May 1st, or around there.
Yeah.
The big program there, thing to see is something that John orchestrated. That was acquisition of the biggest-
Concorde.
The biggest model airplane is spectacular.
Did you get that, John?
Yes, I did.
How did you manage that? Came out of Times Square, didn't it, or somewhere down there?
Well, there's quite a story behind it. If you
Well, tell us the story.
Well, sometime in late November of 2017, I had a phone call from American Air Power Museum in Farmingdale, and we got to discussing about acquisition of an airplane that we have, and finally, before he hung up, he says, "Hey, incidentally, have you heard about the Concorde that the Cradle is giving away?"
They're giving away?
Yeah. Well, let me go through the whole story.
I mean, I can see giving away a spoon or something, but a Concorde? I mean, this is a replica and
Let me
it's
give you a little
smaller.
background on it. The airplane was commissioned by British Airways, or BOAC at the time, and it was built by an American company called L&L Tool outside of Dallas, Fort Worth area. And it took them about 6 months to make. It's a composite airplane. It's actually 1/2 scale. Weighs 28 tons.
28 tons for
Yeah,
that.
it's 101 feet long.
And it's out in front of the hangar
Oh,
there,
yeah.
so yeah,
it's
you
up
can
on-
see it.
It's exactly as it was on top of the building in Times Square. It's 15 degrees nose high and 23-degree tilt. And we had to do it that way because of the attach points on the airplane. But anyway, as I say, we got the phone call in November of 2017. And of course, I brought home that information and some photographs of it to the board, and I didn't make a commitment at that time.
Now, they were giving this away, is that right? They were giving it away, except you had to transport it.
Well, here's the deal. The airplane was taken down after the Concorde was discontinued its flight from London.
The last
to
flight,
New York.
yeah.
Yeah, the last flight. And which incidentally was a world record.
I'm-
2 hours and 53 minutes. from
We can
London.
imagine that.
At any rate, it was taken down and it was put on Bonham's Auction House of London for about 1.2 mil. and of course wants to have a 1/2 scale model airplane in her backyard for $1.2 million. So
Well, only somebody that
there was
didn't,
no takes on that.
I didn't think so.
So they more or less put it in storage at the Cradle of Aviation, and they were going to put it up as we did, until the county of Nassau came in and said, hey, where are you going to put it? And they said, well, we're going to put it over here. Well, you can't put it there. There's a sewer line there. Well,
Oh, there you go.
And for
No
what it
building
was worth,
permit for this one.
they said it didn't have any application to the history of aviation in Long Island. So they made several phone calls, and we're about the third one to say, yes, we'll accept it. And the other two bailed out.
And you have a perfect place for it.
Yes, exactly. And we brought it home in 5 easy truckloads for a considerable amount of money. But anyway.
Do you do it by truck or train?
Oh, no, by truck. It had to be-
Okay.
We took it apart in 5, it took us, they gave us 6 months to take it apart, and it actually took us 8 months. It was quite extensive. We didn't realize what we were getting into. But anyway, we got all the pieces back.
But you didn't have to pay $1 million for it, so that's a good thing.
The price was right.
Yeah,
But the hidden prices were a little
yeah,
more than we
yeah,
expected.
yeah, I imagine.
So at any rate, we got the thing assembled, and I'd like to mention some of the folks that helped us out, especially our town supervisor, Chris Ketzel. He's the
Yeah.
one who incepted it. And also Schenectady County Airport Commissioner Mike Shadwell, who helped. And Schenectady Steel, BBL Industries. We also had D.A. Collins, who erected it. They actually physically put it up. And electrician, Carey Electrical Company. And who else do we have? We had a number of people came forward, so.
Well, it was a
AJ
community
Simon.
effort. It was a community effort.
Exactly.
And it's a real cool, I think, when you drive by, and I've driven up Route 50, it's like, whoa!
The only other one is a 40% one. It's at Brooklands racetrack outside of Surrey, I think, England. That's a 40%.
In the UK?
In the UK.
Okay,
yeah.
right,
But there's
okay.
ours and that one. Those are the only two available.
Wow, isn't that something? Well, so how do you feel about that, Kevin?
It's spectacular.
I mean, you haven't said a word, but you were awestruck as he was telling the story, right?
Obviously, it's the biggest model airplane in the world, but when
Yes.
you go by it, it's just I can't say it other than just spectacular.
It looks
like a
really,
real plane.
it looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's on Guinness
So it's-
World Book of Records.
It's like our gateway to our museum now. We'll be doing some other site improvements around it, so it'll really be an eye catcher.
And you're doing classes now for kids.
Yes, we did in the summer after we reopened. We wanted to extend our education programs. You know, too many schools aren't
Right.
sending too many tours.
Yeah, well,
So-
and you know, yeah, exactly. There's no field trips.
So I was conducting Saturday classes at the museum. Most of them were outside. You can find them about 12 kids each on a variety of topics. History, the physics of flight, planes in the air park.
So are they geared for the age group that you're dealing with, or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, and then in building on that, in August, from August 24th to 27th, we're having
That's coming up,
Yes, we're having our STEM week. It'll be
and that's a
4-day.
wonderful, yeah.
It will be. We'll have, again, a variety of
Do you get
topics.
some girls in there, I hope?
We do, yes. Yes, as a matter
Yes.
of fact, we do, yeah. Matter of fact,
Get
yes.
those women out there.
Yeah.
We'll be taking off and going to Mars, who knows?
And besides the fee for the program, but we're also committed to being a community resource. So we do have some scholarships available for, I think,
Oh,
economically
nice.
distressed
Yeah,
families, and we're happy to accommodate them.
yeah, and you're having your breakfast again, is
We're
that?
having our breakfast, our monthly
No,
breakfast is a
when
lot of
do you
fun.
have, is it every week or every month or what?
The third Saturday of every month, so this upcoming Saturday.
And you're having speakers, do you have speakers at all of them?
We do, yeah, we try to have interesting topics.
Have you had John on as a speaker?
He's always there. John's a charter member, so.
Because, I mean, his story about the Concorde,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
replica is just wonderful.
And then-
Incidentally, the speaker happens to be an aircraft engineer who is from Britain.
Oh, from
And
the,
He's very familiar
Worked on
with
the
the airplane,
Concorde,
so come one, come all, and you can learn more.
well, you know, I'm going to ask one more question about the Concorde. I know that it isn't part of the U.S. aviation, so to speak, but it's a very important piece of aviation to begin with. But how many Concordes did they build?
14 were in operational service, split evenly between Air France and British Airways.
Okay.
2 other prototypes were made, but
Why,
14
why is it discontinued? I mean, maybe the amount of gas it needed, I don't know.
Well, as John was saying, it's a spectacular plane. It was an engineering marvel.
Yes.
Probably the most impractical plane ever built. It was the only.
It was
Well,
impractical?
it was relatively small. I mean, I was
You
on.
didn't have that many people.
I was on one on the ground, and I counted 100 to 120 seats.
How do they even pay for the flight then?
Well, you know, it used a lot of fuel, and when
That's
it was
what I'm
in service in the early 70s, fuel costs were going up.
Yeah,
So it was very expensive. I think it was like 4,000 each way.
4,000 each way?
Yeah.
Depending on.
But in 2 hours, I mean, I guess
And at the
that's,
same time, I think, John, in the mid-70s, a whole generation of passenger planes were coming into service that were much more economical, not as fast. The 747, and then one of the really important factors was the U.S. government enacted regulations preventing sonic booms over populated
I'll bet there
areas.
was one big sonic boom
Yeah,
for that
so-
baby.
So the flights were confined to transatlantic flights.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Used
Yeah,
to hear them flying New York Oceanic, of course, where I was in the Air Force coming down from Greenland, and you hear them called in Speedbug 520 or whatever the tail number was, just passing 50,000. So they were up way above 50,000 feet.
are you kidding, like
Yeah,
10
there's
miles
nobody
up,
up
almost
there
10
other
miles
than
up,
us.
right? I mean,
What's that?
almost 10 miles up, right?
It
5,000
cruised at
feet is
Roughly a
a,
little under, yeah.
Twice the altitude of a normal passenger plane.
5,200 and, oh, I can't remember. How many-
Nautical mile or statute mile?
I'm just trying to think how many,
Okay.
yeah, what is a mile? 5,200 and something. I can't
280.
remember. That was from
280.
high school.
280.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, that's 280. Okay, thank you very much, John. I knew somebody would know it at this
And
time.
Mach 1, the speed of sound is 763 nautical miles at sea level, standard name.
Yeah, I remember the speed of sound. Yeah, that's where Mach 1, isn't it? Something
Mach
like,
1.
yeah, see?
So double that for Mach 2.
Okay.
This exceeded Mach 2.
Are you enjoying this little physics lesson here? So, because we can have some fun with this.
Oh, yeah, I got more.
Fun with physics. So, but we want to remind people that they can go to the fly-in and they
Yes.
can actually go to the museum and enjoy it.
Yes.
Oh, we got new exhibits.
You do?
Yeah, we've got a hands-on exhibit for the kids, they'll love it.
Okay, and I love
The
the,
next project is going to be a jump jet from England, from Surrey, England. It's a Harrier. I got that.
A Harrier?
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a
Those are the ones
prototype.
that kind of just,
Vertical takeoff and landing.
see, I knew that. A little something here and there.
That's our next project.
Yeah,
We're
good.
also having a military vehicle show
Okay.
in partnership with the Hudson, New York.
When's that going to be?
That's going to be on August 21st with a rain date of the 28th. So it'll be
Okay.
an outdoor event, and it'll be all the
Got lots of stuff
military
going.
vehicles interspersed with our historic military planes.
Right, but I want to thank you, John, for being here, first of
Well,
all.
thank you
It's
for
always
inviting
good, and
us.
thank you for the story. I
Oh,
love the
okay.
story, yeah. And we're going to remind people that they can come to see the military vehicles, and also just to come see the museum and
Oh,
have
it's
some
truly a
fun.
unique place.
And one thing I love about the museum is you can actually go into the hangars, and the planes are there.
Exactly, yeah.
You-
So
I mean, they
we
aren't
can do
pictures, the
classes, yeah.
planes themselves are
Yeah,
there.
when I conduct a class, it's right in the planes, and not just listening to me talk.
Exactly. But thanks so much for being here, Kevin. It's always a pleasure to see
Well, it's a
you.
pleasure seeing you.
And we're going to be talking about Italian food. Hey, Roe, hey, glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having us
Roe
today.
Angerami, and Roe knows about food because she makes pastries.
Yes, my sister and I, we make pastries, the cookies, the lemon ice.
Lemon ice. Do you know when I was a little
Gelato.
kid, I'm saying that was a long time ago. My father and mother took me to Civitello's to get that lemon ice, and I'd get it in a little paper cup, and
Yep.
I'd sit in the back seat.
It was the Sundays were the big day.
Oh, and it tasted so lemony. I love the lemon. Oh, do you make more than one flavor?
Yeah, we make lemon every day, and every day we make a different flavor.
Oh, I love the
along
lemon.
with that.
Lemon, forget the
So,
other ones. I like lemon.
yeah.
So,
I like watermelon.
oh, watermelon. I
I
never.
like the lemon. I like
Yeah,
clinches.
watermelon. I never thought about water. It sounds
My
good.
brain-
And I like it with a little wine poured over
The
it.
wine in it.
Can you pour wine? Well, why not?
Oh, yes, we have a special drink that we do at the feast.
With wine?
With
What kind?
wine,
Are you
yeah.
talking a red wine, a white wine, a
It's a dry
rosé?
red wine. Dry red wine.
Dry red wine with a little sugar in there. I hope.
It's the
Well,
best.
If it's
you
too
put
dry, I go,
lemon ice.
The lemon ice is in there.
That's
oh,
sugar.
you put it right on the lemon ice.
Yes.
Oh,
You eat it and
I
drink
thought
it
you were
at the
just
same
giving me
time.
a cup of ice with the wine over it. And joining us is Doreen DeToro, and she's with
Good
DeToro and
afternoon.
Rossi, is that
Yes,
correct?
good afternoon,
And
yes.
you're president of the Little Italy Business Association. I don't know if I have that right, but
That's
that's a
correct.
general idea.
Yes, and that is all of us on the street, and we all sponsor the Little Italy Street Fest.
Yeah.
So, yes, which will be this year, Saturday,
It's the 11th.
September 11th.
Right, right.
Yep. Right now, it's from noon until 9. We're still in the planning stage.
I know, and that's why we're having
Yes.
you on early to let people know it's coming up, and if they want to be a vendor, they would contact you.
They could contact our website,
Okay.
which is listed on your page.
And what kind of vendors do you look for?
So, in the past, we've had kettle corn, mini salsa, we have jewelry vendors, clothing vendors, a lot of different vendors. They set up a little tent and
Yeah,
sell
and
their
I
wares.
love that you have some good food out there too.
Oh,
Thank you.
right. So
Yeah.
we have the best food. We
Cavadillo
have
and all.
Civitello's and Pareca. So
Yeah.
they put out all the food on the street. They serve thousands of
It used to be
individuals.
Cornell's did it, now Cornell's is
Cornell's
closed.
yes, Cornell's closed with the pandemic
Yeah.
last March, I think, of 2020.
It was tough on a lot of businesses, and when
Oh,
you look back,
devastating.
you know, every
Listen.
business that was selling food or something like that, you
We
either
were lucky.
delivered it or you hoped that someone drove by and picked it
Oh,
up.
we were lucky.
I don't know
Yes.
how you survived, I really
Well,
don't.
100 years in business, that's how
Oh,
they
we're
survived.
celebrating our 100th
Yes,
year, too.
This
Yeah.
year. So,
So now you're aging me while I went out there as a little kid, but it was not 100 years ago, it really wasn't, so.
No, you were like 17,
I
right?
was absolutely, must have been.
I'm not 100 yet.
and that's what makes our streets so unique in the city. Funeral home 1907, so we're 117 years in business. Civitello's, the Angiorami family, Civitello, they celebrate 100 years this year. Pareca across the street celebrated their 100 year, maybe 5 years ago.
I
2 years
remember-
ago.
I re-
Garofalo around the corner
Yep.
until last year,
Yeah.
100 and some
Yeah.
odd years old, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's too, Garofalo's has not reopened because I used to go there for my sausage all the time.
They
so-
have not, no.
Yeah, but I think they're available if you,
Online.
online, yes.
Online.
Yes.
They have their packets that
Yes.
they mix it with.
Oh, okay.
And
You-
people I
I
know
bought
make it. Yeah, have you made the
Yeah.
sausage?
Yeah.
Try it too.
Yeah,
Frankie?
you grind it up, yeah, I have one of those grinders, you know, you get the pork and you grind it up
Doing
and you
it
add the
tonight. It's
spices.
gonna be my
Are you?
first time.
Beautiful. Guys that work with us, Frankie, Jack, and Dave, they all buy the seasoning. They go to Frankie's house, they make the sausage, they love it. I've had it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
There's nothing,
The seasoning
there's
is what
nothing
makes
better
it,
than
I know.
Italian sausage.
Yes.
But
I
we
don't
were
care
brought
whether
up
it's
on it.
sweet or hot, I'm with both of them.
Yeah, we were brought up on it. It's hard to try others. I mean, they're good.
It's
But
it's funny, I'm not gonna mention the store, but I went in there and I was in a rush. And I was gonna make my homemade pizza. And I thought, well, I need some Italian sausage, so I'm looking for I know I can't get Garofalo's, maybe Sindoni's, and I'm looking, and all I'm finding is store brand. I said, how bad can it be? I found out.
Yeah.
It just isn't, maybe it's okay if you're not familiar with Italian sausage. But if
Well,
you
we
know
use
the good
black pepper
Italian,
And the fennel and the seasoning.
I always add extra fennel when I get something like that. I'm throwing extra fennel seeds in to get that,
Seasoning it.
yeah.
Yes.
So do you have music lined up? Because I know
We
usually,
do have our bands, our big
Grand
bands are
Central,
signed up.
hopefully.
Yep.
who do you have?
Grand Central.
Grand
Hopefully
Central,
They're
yeah.
always there for us.
Yeah, they're appearing, just recently they've appeared somewhere, yeah.
Yes.
We have Happy Days.
Happy
Oh, they're
Days.
good, they're a
Yeah.
good
Yep.
band.
And we're gonna have a new band, which is the Rogues.
Oh, I know the Rogues, they've been on my show.
They're gonna be
Yeah, those
playing
guys.
in
So
the
they're gonna
evening.
finish the night. for
Yeah, and they
us.
also appear at the casino.
The casino and Freedom Park in
Yeah,
Scotia.
yeah.
And then on the small stage, so we'll start with Linda Jones. She'll sing some soprano, Italian soprano. Looking to book a couple more.
Well, but you're gonna come back and
Entertainment.
tell us who
We're
the
gonna
rest
come back
are
and
when
tell
you come, yeah.
And most importantly, the Sons of Italy and the Italian Heritage Museum will be there again as
Oh,
well.
Philip, he's
in
very
cultural
cooperative,
tent
isn't he?
because
Philip
Little
DeNovo.
Italy, right?
We
We're
have
gonna-
John DiFilippo. It's gonna
John
also-
DiFilippo, we're hoping to
He'll
book
play.
him on the small stage in the
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay.
And he plays all kinds of pop Italian, cultural Italian, rock and roll Italian. They're a great band, so.
This is great. You're gonna, and of course the street will be closed off.
Street
And
will be
should you,
closed
would
off.
you, or I mean, in case, I mean, we're a little bit away from it. Should people bring their own chairs?
That'd
We
be a
always
good
we always
idea.
recommend that they bring their own chairs. We do provide their seating, tables and chairs for seating, for eating.
Yeah.
A tent they can sit under to listen to the band and eat
And
in
we
case the
have
weather's
in our own
inclement.
backyards, we have tables and chairs.
You have a
Yes.
lovely backyard. I know that because I ate back, I think Clifford was performing at the time, yeah.
Now we have Brian.
Yeah.
Brian G.
Yeah, oh, Brian
So
Giuseppe,
we're-
yeah, I know who he is,
We're
yeah.
so looking forward to it. You know, I don't believe the Greek Fest is going on this year. I'm not sure about the.
Well, that, I
Stockade
did
Art Show.
check on that, and it's sort of like it's up in the air, it's sort of, but it isn't. But I know the art show is going on, so.
It is, okay, good. So at least
No,
we'll
they're
have something
coming
else
on,
to
I
do
think, in
that
a week
day.
or so. They're gonna be
Beautiful.
talking about, Steve Kowalski is gonna be on to talk about the art show.
So,
So we know there's 2 events, and
Two
it's
events,
always
yeah.
nice to get a couple, because then people will,
right,
Go
park
between.
and walk. And,
Yes.
you know, I know a lot of the festivals, they needed a lot of preparation and they needed to come up with a lot of money for deposits
I
for
know.
tents and bands back in March, and things were very uncertain at that time.
we
So,
didn't know. I mean, and it
we're-
could turn around tomorrow,
It
for
could.
all we know.
And we're very fortunate that, you know, our 2 main providers.
And you're outside.
Right, or, you know, they can get things done in this amount of time, for the thousands of people that show up on
Yeah.
the street.
Oh,
I
you
think
get
there's
thousands.
gonna be a lot because of no other.
People wanna
feast.
get out
And
now.
there's no other feast happening.
Yeah.
Right, Mount Carmel, St.
Well, 'cause
Anthony's.
Oh, Mark
They-
Carmel isn't, no, none of them are.
They need a
Our Lady
lot of
Queen of
time to
Peace, yes.
prepare.
Yeah.
So people want to just come out, visit with people they haven't seen in a year,
Yeah, it'll be
listen
fun.
to music, have some cavadillos, have some lemon ice, have something to
Sausage and
drink. There'll be
peppers and
sausage
stuff.
and
What else do you make?
pepper.
Do you make the rice balls or something? Or do they
we're
make them
gonna
across the
try.
street? Yeah.
We're gonna try to do that, but we have 2 other
Arancini, what is
items.
it called, arancini?
Arancinis.
Yeah.
Arancinis,
Yeah.
But we're gonna have 2 other items.
I don't
in
make
that
them.
sheet.
I've never made them, so.
They're not in my region, so I never knew them.
Where are
until-
you from?
Potenza, Pietrangala, down by Naples, so we.
Oh, well, see, and I'm Calabria
Yeah,
and also Lazio.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Campania. I said
Campania.
Calabria, but it's Campania. And Lazio, they're right next
I didn't
to.
grow up on them, they were new to me.
Yeah. And every
When I came
region
to
in
the
Italy
street.
had different kind of
Foods,
foods as
different.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're from Alavignano.
yeah.
Legnano.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So it's really, it's important, I think, to celebrate the different regional, and I find that most people around here are from Napolitano.
Yes.
Yeah.
They really are from that
Yes,
area,
from-
yeah.
from the Naples
Sicilians,
area.
too. There's
Yeah,
a lot of
Sicilians, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're excited, and then of course with the Little Italy being there and the Heritage Museum, people can find out what region they're from. There's a lot of information available to them when they stop
That's
on the
good.
street to
That's-
view that. So,
yeah.
so you're gonna have a couple of new items this year?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one yet. We're gonna pick it.
She's still trying to decide.
Yes,
trying.
and we have hunters next door to Rowi's, to
Okay.
Civitello's, and they always have a nice craft beer truck out, and you can go into the venue to eat if you want with
Yeah.
some, I think they carry over 20 craft beers inside.
Okay.
And of course, Pareca and more Pareca, and, you know, everything that they carry every year.
Exactly. So it's going to be a festival, and we just want to encourage people to mark the calendars.
Celebration, absolutely,
The only
And-
thing, there's 2 things we have to remember.
yes.
There's lines of people, and it takes a few minutes, not to be impatient.
To order, yeah.
You know, I mean.
I know,
you
I
try
mean, you
to
know,
make
you don't
it
even
fast.
know, the line is there, and you're going, whoa. you
And
know.
if they can bring small change would be good.
Oh, yeah.
$1 and $5. People come.
They hand you with a
$100
50,
bills.
right? A 50.
$100 bills, and we're scattering from different booths.
Oh, that's
trying to
terrible.
get it, But, I mean, it works out.
Yeah,
It works
but I
out.
always
It
try and
works
bring
out.
small bills
And
when
the
I,
rosary row.
The rosary, hang it upside down on the clothesline.
What does a clothesline
What does that
for? What
do?
they hang
What
it
does
on?
that
No
do?
rain.
What if
Keeps
there's
the
no
rain away.
clothesline? Where can we hang it?
You make a clothesline.
Yeah.
there you go.
Everybody has
We
a
grew up with
clothesline.
we grew up with clotheslines.
any
I don't think
Italians
anybody
that
that
don't.
doesn't have a clothesline any
Everybody
longer.
has a clothesline.
Even if it's in your basement. a lot
If
of
you
times.
don't, go out and get one.
I use drying racks, I'm sorry, lady. But I want
That'll work.
to, and I want to thank you so much for being here, and we're going to look for you with that lemon ice. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
I'm
Well, you're going to be
looking
on again, I'm sure.
Yes.
So anyway, and I'll keep talking to you, Doreen.
Sure.
So you're part of the planning, and do you have a big team that's working on this?
Yes, everyone on the street has input into
Okay.
what we're doing. So
Okay.
it's all of us, it's always, we always collaborate, do everything together. And this is our 16th year, so we're kind of.
You're getting it right now,
Well,
right? You're getting it about right now.
Yes.
Thank
so-
you. And you know what? I still have the little thing you gave me, so next
Oh,
one I'm wearing it.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm wearing it
beautiful.
next time.
Bo and I will try to wear ours as well.
Okay,
so
good. We'll
thank
be
you
a
for having
trio.
us.
We'll start
see you in
singing some
August.
Italian songs or something, you know.
Beautiful. Thank
Okay,
you.
good, Doreen. So good to have you here. And I'm going to switch over to Rebecca Brisbane here. And Rebecca, this is the first time you've been on the
It's
show.
the first time, so exciting.
Yeah, so tell me, you're going to be in Pipeline?
Yes. we're
And you know,
doing-
I looked that up because I had never heard of that play. And thank you very Majestic for being here as well. And you're both actors, I assume, in the
Yes.
play. But I looked it up because I had never heard of the play, and I'm going, what is that? And no, it had the picture of the locker and stuff. So give me an idea. What is this play about?
Well, Pipeline is making reference to the school to prison pipeline that plagues the African American community, and mainly our African American boys. And so this play is about how one family struggles to beat the odds and overcome the system or work through the system.
Okay. And what challenges do they face, this family?
There's a lot of emotional turmoil, getting to the root of the problem, not being understood, and trying to still operate on a daily basis and still trying to function navigate through the maze of the problem.
And where does this take place? You're in the play too? Are you
Yeah.
are you the kid or
Yeah, I
okay.
play the kid, yeah,
You're the
yeah.
kid in the play. Okay. So first of all, where does this take place?
We are
No, I don't mean the play. I know it's at Sand Lake Center for the Arts, but where does the play itself take place? Are Philadelphia? Or are we talking New
It
York
is
City?
in an inner city. It
Okay.
is in an inner city. The actual place isn't defined.
Okay,
and I
but you
think
know
that's
it's an inner city.
It's definitely inner city, and I think that too is that speaks to the fact that it is broad across the United States.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's something.
It doesn't make any difference what city it's going to
Exactly,
happen. You know, that
exactly.
kind of thing. And what part do you play in the play?
I
And then I'm
play-
getting to you, Majestic, so I'm not leaving you out.
I play Naya Joseph. I am the mom as well as a teacher in an inner city school.
Okay. All right. And you? How do you?
I play Omari Joseph, her son, and I'm actually in the school.
Okay. So how did it feel? Now, first of all, I'm going to ask you, Majestic. How long you been acting?
11, 12 years?
Really? So it's in your blood?
Yeah.
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 And where would I have seen you before?
For about 10 years, I worked with a company called Youth FX.
What is it?
Which is more based in making short films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then a few years ago, I transitioned from film to plays. My first play was with Jean-Remy Monet.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
Jean. Oh my God. He was on, I think last time I had him on the show.
Yeah. And we
You're
did
talking about ain't misbehaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I did a play with him called A Lesson Before Time, which was like.
Oh
my first-
yeah.
Yeah, it was like my first introduction into like good theater. So then I kept.
He's
going.
with the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York.
Yep.
Boom.
That's it, right?
You got it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
So it, doing plays locally around the community. Eventually, I picked up this play and I was like, oh, somebody asked me to be a part of it, and I said, yeah, sure, why not?
Well, that's how Jean Rene was saying to me that they asked him to do Ain't Misbehaving. He says, I never done a musical before, you know. So he jumped right into it. Now, how about you? How long, Rebecca? How long have you been?
I've been acting as long as I can remember locally since about 2007. I've been in a number of productions and I've worked with a number of directors, and both of us were born out of the Black Theater Troupe of Upstate New York.
Oh, so you work with him as
Jonathan,
well. Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I've done many productions with Remy.
Diaka is his,
Yeah.
his associate producer or something, or director.
The theater community is really tight-knit, and so it's just a great opportunity. Even though we're tight-knit, it's still an opportunity to work with new members, because although I've been a fan of his, I've never had an opportunity to work with him before.
Oh, and he's blushing, I can tell.
And so when I walked in, this is our second production of Pipeline, and so when I walked in.
Oh, so
to
you've
the
been in the
stage-
play before?
Before we did it virtually.
Oh, virtually,
We
okay.
did it virtually, and the actors were all different. I think I'm the only character from the original cast.
So you didn't have to learn the lines more than once.
Yeah, we
Or-
still had to do some
Yeah, I know.
memorization.
It's-
But like I was saying, when I walked in and I saw Majestic, I was really excited to work with him.
That must be, make you feel good, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure though.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
So how do you like the setting? Because the Sand Lake, have you ever performed at the Sand Lake Center of the Arts?
First time.
I have.
It's a nice black box theater, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're right with the audience.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
performed there before. The first time I was there was many, many years ago with Remy. We did a variety show, and it was a circle and a round. So the stage was in the center.
Oh, they moved it in?
Right,
Okay,
the
all
stage
right.
was in the center. And now this time it is different. Like you said, just black box, but we still are very much a part of the audience, and I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So how long is the play?
I think the runtime is just under 90 minutes.
I mean, is there an intermission?
Yeah, we do have an intermission.
Yeah.
You do have an
A brief one,
Really
only because
brief.
the play is so tight.
Yeah.
So we
Because
try-
sometimes it's better not to have an intermission because you don't want to lose the momentum of the play. On the other hand, people have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Right,
and the
exactly.
actors need a break to like recharge and like at least get that moment to get
Exactly.
themselves
Now,
recomposed.
your play pipeline, as I said, I was not really familiar with it. I had to look it up to see a little bit more about it. What age group would you recommend for this?
I would say from teenager to like adult, like
Yeah,
you know,
so they should be at least understand the situation.
yeah, just to understand the subject matter. I mean, even as a preteen, like some of the underlying subtle things that like they'll be able to pick up on, and adults obviously will be able to be more in tune with understanding everything. But just to get like an idea of like how it is for school, especially particularly for men and like who can't articulate and express themselves in a positive way, and like navigating that and like understanding yourself and like being deeper than like the rage you portray. Like I think that's something that like most people will be able to understand because
Yeah.
it's like a universal thing that you'll see.
And how large is the cast?
We have six.
6 of us.
Oh,
of
it's a
us.
small.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's small.
That's a small,
Very
because
intimate
when they
play.
did Ain't Misbehaving, I thought, 5 people in a musical, Ain't Misbehaving, are you kidding? But I understand it's fabulous.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot of people if you got good people to start with,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's great. And so what's your next plans? Are you already auditioned for something new, or are you gonna just sit back for a little bit, or what's going on?
I'm working on producing a short. Like I just recently bought some equipment, so like I want to make a short film.
A short film?
Yeah, I want to get back into doing that. So like I already wrote the script and stuff. So right now I'm just looking for
A
bunch of other
vehicle,
things.
or?
Just locations. I have a skeleton crew.
When you
together.
talk about a short film, you're talking about 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, so
Okay.
around that area. Yeah, so
Right.
and to pitch as a proof of concept to eventually pitch for a feature. So that's what
And,
I'm looking on.
and then
right
you actually submit these to short film
now.
festivals?
Yeah.
I've been to a number of those short film festivals, and they're wonderful. I think I went one up in Lake George. They had a big one there. And they're so great because the talent
Yeah.
that people have, and they have an impact. Most of those short films have a real impact. They aren't just fluff.
Yeah, because you have to, with a short film, you have to
You
cut
gotta-
out the fluff. Yeah, you just have to get to the meat of the situation.
Exactly. There's no, hemming and hawing. You got to
Yeah.
do it, So, and what are your plans for the future?
Well, I just finished up Our Harlem. That was before Pipeline. I was working on Our Harlem, which is also a short feature film. And that too, one of those, like Majestic said, you just gotta punch to the meat of it, right, and cut out all the fluff. And it is really, although it was filmed locally, it is based out of Harlem, New York,
Okay.
and the opioid
Oh,
epidemic.
yeah, that's,
So
oh, God,
it
that's
is
terrible.
really something that, again, has plagued us from our communities, right, for a long time.
Exactly.
After Pipeline, I don't have anything on the
I'm sure, I
on the
think
books.
Remy will find something for you.
Remy will definitely find something for me, as well as young directors like Siobhan Shea and Majestic Tillman,
Yeah,
as
and-
he's working on building himself up. I think that is really one of the things that I enjoy about acting is the support part that I give to the directors, and I'm growing in my craft still. Even though I've been an actress for a long time, you're always evolving, you're always growing, and as the roles change, it's just a new venture for me.
And what you're building, all of you are building, is a network.
Yes.
in theater, period.
Absolutely.
Theater, period.
Yep.
And so you've got this network and you help each other. And I see this over and over again because I have a lot of groups on that are theatrical groups, you know, it's community theater. You know, I've even had the Equity Theaters on, and I've had even Broadway shows come on my show to talk about that. And there's kind of a humbleness about them. And they're always ready to thank somebody who gave them the start or something that triggered them to go forward. And I think that's the beauty of theater, is that there is that. Now, you know, not everybody succeeds, but you know what? With community theater, you probably aren't going to fail too much. You know, you're going to, you know, and not only that, but it gets you to hone your skills so that you can get an equity card eventually.
Eventually.
No,
Yeah.
good. So anyway, yeah, so I do want to thank you so much for being here. And I'm not sure, let's see who, I guess you're, I'm sorry, we had a change in things, so I'm thinking that you're the one that leaves, right? Okay, you're the one that leaves. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this because we had an extra guest, and so we were trying to figure the rotation. But you know what? That's what theater's all about,
Yes,
right? You
yes,
never know. Where do I stage right or stage left, right? But that never happened to you guys. Okay, and I'm going to bring on my next guest, but I want to thank you, Rebecca, for being here as well. And to certainly, you have a wonderful venue to work in, and I hope to see you on this stage again to tell us about your next production coming up.
So excited.
Yeah, thank you,
so
Rebecca.
much.
And we've got, who do we have back here? We have Kevin back again, but he's not talking about space. He's not talking about planes or airplanes or trains or whatever, but we are talking about water because we're talking about Waterford.
Yes. Yes,
And
thank
tell me
you.
what's going on. You're the president of the Waterford,
Yeah, the Waterford Museum
yeah, and Cultural Center.
and Cultural Center.
Yeah, tell me what they're doing.
Well, we just reopened just about a week ago.
Anastasia said that they're getting ready.
Yeah, we had a wonderful turnout. We're featuring 2 new exhibits there, which if you're into local history, it's just a remarkable collection of material there. On the first United Church in Waterford.
Yep. Is that where you're having your exhibition or no?
It's right at the museum.
Oh, that's
It's from
okay,
the-
good. Yeah,
the
okay.
church is now closed.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we're also featuring a collection of wonderful Waterford artists from the 19th century, Ralph Savage, whose paintings were influenced by the famous Hudson River School. of
Sure,
art.
the Hudson River School, yeah.
But it's just a remarkable museum if you're into local history. And you know, Waterford is the oldest continuously incorporated village in the country.
Get out. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yes, it was incorporated.
That was a secret. I didn't know that.
Right. It was incorporated in 1794.
Wow.
Um,
And Waterford is a village, city, town, what is it?
It's a village.
It's a village.
In addition to town.
Okay.
But the village is the oldest continuously incorporated village in the state.
Isn't that
It's
amazing?
a wonderful history.
So now you're right on the water, Waterford, let's think about
Yeah.
that. You're on a lock, aren't you? Well, sort of.
Sort of, yes. But Waterford has a remarkable network of waterways. You have the Hudson River, we're separating it from Troy, the Mohawk River, the border with the Cohoes. In addition, the barge canal system, which is a land cut section, goes right from the village up to the joint.
Was that part of the Erie Canal? No.
Yes, the barge, the Erie Canal,
Yeah.
the Champlain Canal.
Yeah.
But in addition, there's a network of old abandoned canals that were originally constructed for the canal system. The museum is located right off of Route 32.
Yeah, I know
near-
we're 32, yeah.
Near the Cohoes Bridge.
Sure.
And it's on Museum Lane, kind of a narrow
It
street.
runs right along the river, actually, 32
It
does.
fr-
Yeah.
And the museum fronts on an abandoned section of the old Champlain Canal.
Oh,
And fortunately, these canal segments have walkways right along them, so
it's a natural.
It is. It's a wonderful public access, and it's really just a nice, really interesting place to be.
So this is kind of a secret. People don't know about it,
I
right?
think you're right. Yes.
I think we
would
need to
think
get the word out.
I think it's a good mission. Yes. Yeah. It's one of the best gems in the area.
So when can they visit Waterford?
Oh, you can visit on Thursday.
Are you open every day or no?
Not every day. We start
Because of the
just as-
pandemic,
yeah,
probably.
just as we reopen, we're open on Thursdays and Saturdays, or by appointment.
Sure.
But
So if you had a group that you wanted to bring, you could contact
sure,
them
yeah.
and you might
Yes.
make an accommodation.
Absolutely, yeah. In addition, we're going to be starting this summer, thanks to our director Anastasia, we'll be starting walking tours of the town and village.
That's
So-
great.
Yeah, yeah. Again, we're located right along the old abandoned Champlain Canal, which weaves its way through the village.
So you're telling me that this was incorporated in the 1700s or whatever?
1794,
Yeah,
yes.
94. How about the buildings there? Are they still the existing buildings
Well,
there,
well,
or are they reconstructions?
Well, quite a few are, yes. Yeah, the oldest part of the village, I believe, is right down by the Hudson River at the junction of the Erie Canal. But yes, a Broad Street, the main street there is largely intact from that age.
So are they like Dutch buildings, or, I mean, who settled there? Like, we know that the stockade area in Schenectady was settled by the Dutch. So who settled Waterford?
French,
Okay.
Italians, and Germans.
So they came in the 1700s then?
Yes, yeah, largely of course, immigrants.
Yeah, yeah,
At the time-
interesting.
At the time, the old Erie Canal was being constructed then, so.
They needed laborers.
Exactly, so a lot of the folks had settled there, came from, of course, from Europe, through Canada, or from New York City, immigrated to Waterford.
Looking for new opportunities.
Yeah, and one of the big opportunities was construction of the Erie Canal.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mhm.
And now, one of the things I discovered is, I mean, you know, you think of the Erie Canal and you think it's this huge thing, but it was not that wide, and they had mules that actually dragged.
Exactly, exactly. When the canal system was constructed in the early 1800s, it was all land cut, typically what we think of as canals.
And it wasn't deep.
No, not at all. And then, they had a lack of powered boats that could work across the current, so it was
Yeah.
always land cut channels that would relatively level, and we had elevation change, a series of locks to change the boats. But yes, the barges were towed by ox or mules.
Yeah.
So
My
there-
got a
so there's-
mule and her name is Sal. One of
Yes,
those.
exactly, yeah. So there really is still a system of like right-of-ways right along the old canal system. And then in 1900, when ships began to be much larger,
It was abandoned pretty much.
a
Yeah.
lot of the land cut sections were abandoned. Not all, but like for example in Waterford, there's one that bypasses Goers Falls.
Mm-hmm.
But so now the barge canal system is a series of canalized waterways, rivers, lakes, Mohawk River,
Sure.
Oneida Lake, and then land cut system,
Yeah.
land cut channels.
Yeah. Contiguous waters that you can go from here to there, and
Yeah,
and
link
keep.
right.
And people do that with their boats and ships, and I don't know whether they portage anything anymore, but I mean, they do if you're in a canoe somewhere.
Waterford is also one of 6 major boating centers on the canal system designed for recreational boating. A lot of commercial traffic
Sure.
but recreational boaters are the primary users. And Waterford is the visitor center, or the boating center, I should say, for the Capital District.
So-
the ones at Whitehall and Little Falls and Oswego.
Yeah.
So-
So you have a cultural center there. I mean, so we talk about the museum and cultural center. The fact that you're having walking tours is like the historic, you're really promoting the history of Waterford.
Sure,
And
yeah.
the foundation of it being the oldest village in the, please, I mean, this blows my mind. I did not know it was so
Well,
close.
Interesting fact, huh?
Yeah.
But, besides just, typical classes talking in a classroom or something, on these you'll be able to walk through and just see the history.
Yeah. Isn't that the way to learn it, though?
It
To-
really is,
To
yes.
put your foot to the
Interactive.
ground and walk, and
Interactive.
you take a deep breath and you say, oh my goodness, this is really,
This
the
is
people
what-
really walked here in 1700 and just and lived in that house or whatever. So how long have you been president of the organization?
1 year. I've been on the board for about, I think, 10.
Okay, so this is your 1 year of serving as president and keeping the mission
It's
going,
an
right?
interesting year, because, considering we were.
I know. Well, they'll give you another year. Yeah, you know.
We'll see.
Yeah, 2020 doesn't count. We're
Okay.
going to go 2021, 22. So anyway, but here you are, so interested in history because you're involved, and maybe you're just tuning in, but he was on earlier in the show to talk about the Empire State Sciences Museum. which of course is all history of aviation, and now you're doing the history of the water area. So
Yes, yeah.
it's great that
You gotta be enthusiastic about the heritage of this area.
I
It's
know.
tremendous.
Aren't we just blessed with what we have here? And as a
Yes.
matter of fact, where we're
I
filming
know,
right
so-
here,
Yes, yes. I
where
happened to be
we've
on-
got the Mohawk Towpath by,
One of my jobs with the state was on the commission that
yeah.
sponsored this.
And it was, we just happened to, because we lost the space that we were using, and they threw us out. Well, they didn't throw us out here. They encouraged us to move here.
Ah,
So.
well, it's a wonderful background.
Yeah, and it's a great background. So, Kevin, I want to thank you so much for being here and
thank you.
telling us about Waterford and
My pleasure.
what a great day trip, or not even a day trip, just drive over there and enjoy a meal in
Yes,
town, right?
yes.
And enjoy the,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, thank you so much. I want to tell you who's coming up next week. We have one heck of a show for you coming up next week. You are not going to believe this, but we are going to be going up to Saratoga. We will be doing a live show, and it will be broadcast live. I guess not broadcast, it'll be cablecast. I want to say that right. But let me tell you who's coming on the show. We have Cafe Lena coming on, because we're going to be talking about Cafe Lena and what they're coming up with and all their activities and great performers, and they've been around for ages. Then we're having the Children's Museum of Saratoga on the show. We're going to find out about their exhibitions, and they're moving, by the way. We're going to find out where they're moving. And then we've got the Saratoga Automobile Museum. Is that great to have them come on and talk about the antique cars and the classic cars that they have there? I was up there one year doing a shoot, and I got to ride in one of their speedy little race cars. It was really fun. Then, speaking about racing, we're going to be talking to the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame. And this is horses, not cars. So we're going to be talking with them, learning all about that museum. And then we're going to be over to the Universal Preservation Hall. That's where we're going to be filming. And guess what? They have a huge exhibit coming up, and it's all about dinosaurs. So we have a great lineup, and we hope that you watch us live and visit that dinosaur exhibit, or go to the Children's Museum or the Automobile Museum or the Racing Museum, and we are going to be up in Saratoga, and we're going to be celebrating Saratoga next time. So please join us. I'm Ann Pearl, your host and producer of Capital Region Today. Thank you for joining us.